Dude, we go way back with Dayparting. We were testing it probably 4 or 5 years ago, to be honest. I mean, we've been doing it for a while. Um, what we mainly tested budgets. We didn't test bids. Bids are just, I think, just trickier. I think generally they're not trickier. Like if you decrease the bid, we know the spend's going to go down. But when it comes to conversions and things like that, keywords can be really hit or miss on the sales side. When they're not making any sales, it's a lot straightforward. You know what I mean? But when they're making sales, it can be hard trickier. So we didn't do a lot on the bid side. We mainly did the budget side, and we have our software does it. So we built that into our software where you can upload the campaigns that you want to pause and the specific hours that you want to pause them and unpause them. And so we just built it because we wanted to, because we did use it for our account. So we were like, man, we just need to build this thing. So, and because it's a pain in the butt doing it manually, man. And having your team doing this on the weekends and stuff like that, I mean, it depends on your team and stuff, but um so budgets have been the one that we've used to most when it comes to day parting. Bids have been trickier in terms of like tracking and its performance. And what we've seen is that usually, I mean, this is a general rule of thumb, between the hours of like roughly midnight and 3 to 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time are usually your lowest hours for the most part for everyone. At least that's what I've seen across multiple accounts, multiple products. And so those are what I call like your safe hours, where if you wanted to pause budgets, those are safer than others. We have noticed that when you get more aggressive with dialing back budgets on the day parting side, it can impact sales, like bring down sales. So we've mainly been focused on like during the nighttime, pausing the campaigns. We haven't done it like on an hourly basis, like 1 hour, the next hour, the next hour, the next hour. When it comes to measuring results for that, that's going to be really like tricky. Um, from my perspective, the way we analyze things, we like to look at, when I do before and afters, because I do a lot of cause and effect analysis for the accounts that I manage. And so I like to give it a few days. And because when you do the hour stuff, you're gonna have to do a lot of like create new systems for pulling data so that your team can measure the before and after. So bid wise, like for example, and on the weekends as well is another opportunity, I think, for brands to save money. Because for example, we had a SKU during the weekend where it just did not do well. So I did an analysis on the campaign budgets, and we just dialed budgets back like during the weekend, and profitability, it became profitable all of a sudden versus not profitable. And then we did the same thing. We've tested individual SKUs where we looked at the number. We didn't look at business reports. We looked at ad reports. The only reason is because we do the ads. So that's what we mainly looked at. So on the ad report side, we would look at, I have my team pull it every 14 days. So because you only get 14 days worth of data, so they pull it every 14 days, then they aggregate it so that we can get 30 to 60 days worth of data. And then we look at specific SKUs, how they perform per hour. And then what I would do is basically decrease the budgets for the hours that we didn't do well, and we would, or even pause the campaigns. And generally what we saw was increase in profitability generally for those SKUs.